Welcome to Potawatomi Sportsbook Weekly. This is Austin Herdina, Sportsbook Manager, with Zach Studio, Restaurant Manager, and Billy Schmid. Billy, you are with The Winning Edge. Why don't you tell us a little bit about The Winning Edge? When can people find that?
Well, you can usually find it weekly when we put it out on the social media campaign, as well as on Fox Sports Radio, Wisconsin 920. You can hear it as well on 95.7 Big FM. It frequents around, and we just try to find everyone just a little bit of a W.
Good. And you can find our podcast here on YouTube. So please like and subscribe these videos so you can get notified the moment that they go live. We got the NFL draft tonight, guys. Packers don't have a first-round pick. Kind of makes it where I feel like it's a little less entertaining for me because I'm not getting a Packers first-round rookie to be excited about tonight. I mean, barring a trade, right? Trades happen. But what are you guys most looking forward to tonight? What's a projection you might have for what's going to happen tonight?
Well, I'm hoping to see a huge day for the Big Ten, right? There's going to be upwards of 12 or 13 players taken from the Big Ten, 3 to 4 Ohio State players in the top 10 when you talk about Caleb Downs, Sonny Styles, as well as Arvell Reese. Reese has been one of the better fluctuators as of late. There were many people that thought he was locked into number 2. Yeah. I kind of liked him sliding down a little bit, maybe one of the guys that teams get aggressive for, but there's not a ton of blue chip feel like walk into the NFL starters and Pro Bowlers right out of the gate. So I'm excited to see some teams get a little thirsty for some players and potentially have a little bit of fun tonight.
Yeah, I mean, co-sign that, dude. It's I'm kind of with you though. Like there's nothing that's really like, maybe it's the Packers not picking in the first round. But maybe this draft just doesn't feel like one of those elite drafts.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. I feel like this is more heavy on like your offensive line, your defensive guys. Like you're not getting like the only true like playmaker that I feel like I'm seeing on the board early is Jeremiah Love. And like we were talking about before the show, I think the first 2 running backs off the board are going to be both Notre Dame backs, right? But interesting to see what the Packers do at 52. I mean, I've seen projections where they slide up in the second round. I've seen projections where they drop back, and picking up more picks in a year where I feel like we had a lot of guys walk would probably be beneficial.
They got 7 picks. I would expect them to take more players. I would expect them to walk away with this with more than 7 players, whether that's at 52 that you move back or maybe even into the third round they slide back a little bit. The Packers have been talking pretty glowingly, and you've heard a lot of national insiders say the real smoke they're getting out of Green Bay is they're infatuated with more of the day 3 depth. And there's a lot of ways that you can slice this up. This is a full NIL draft, so all these guys are coming in with money and potentially some untapped potential because you haven't been in the same program, especially weightlifting-wise, strength and conditioning-wise, to be able to maybe be the true player you are. So it's a big year for the scouts because you're really going to have to figure out what makes these guys tick before you bring them into their program and give them even more money into the pocket.
So something that we offer here at Potawatomi Sportsbook when it comes to the draft, we'll offer who will be the first pick of the draft all the way to the 10th pick of the draft. So if you're looking right now at obviously number 1, everyone believes it's going to be Fernando Mendoza. It's going to cost you $100 to win $1. I mean, you're not going to win a whole lot on that, but going to second pick, third pick, etc. A lot of people are looking at Jeremiah Love potentially to the Cardinals with the 3rd pick.
I hear there's a lot of smokescreen on that.
Plus 150 if you like it.
I hear there's a lot of smokescreen on the Cardinals taking a running back that early. I like him more in Tennessee, but we'll see.
Well, and that's another spot where potentially Arvell Reese could go. Like, I've thought Bailey is just a tick higher than him on any projection that I would do, but you'll have to figure out it only takes one, and it only takes one GM, and a lot of times it takes one owner to love a player and say, yeah, we really like this guy, right? Mm-hmm. Yeah, why don't we call in that card and let's put his name on there instead of whoever you guys are standing on the table for. I'm fascinated as well when Carnell Tate goes. I think he is one of the more underrated players in this draft. He comes out of that pipeline of Ohio State wide receivers. Excited to see where he ends up. Potentially Washington helping out Jaden Daniels.
So you can also bet on what the team will pick in with their first selection. So for the Packers, for example, cornerback and offensive linemen are tied for the favorite right now. So those are the 2 positions that we believe we're going to go for. Two positions, obviously, we need help at, especially corner. I feel like we always need help at corner.
Left on our roster at corner? Kashawn Nixon and St. Just, right? Pretty much it.
So we need help at corner.
Valentine, Nixon. Yep. They definitely need guys at corner, and there's a lot of availability later into the draft for those guys. But I would think Malik Muhammad from Texas, maybe in the third round, would be a guy that they would target. I'm fascinated to see, though, if they do something that we've seen Gutekunst do a number of different times, that's kind of double up, where they took Christian Watson in the second round, Romeo Doubs in the fourth. Way back in the day, it was Jamal Williams in the fourth round at running back, Aaron Jones in the fifth. Double it up, wide receiver last year, Matthew Golden in the first, Savion Williams in the third, where you clearly know you need multiple players at that spot. Give more opportunities for one of them to be an impact player. Or a couple of years ago, they did it with Zach, the tight ends, where Luke Musgrave went 2, Tucker Kraft went 3, and luckily you stuck with that because Tucker Kraft might be an all-pro.
Yeah, I mean, was it Goody that did Josh Jackson and Jair Alexander? Was that
that was his first draft?
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Okay. So yeah, one of them worked out, the other one didn't. I think Josh Jackson's probably, I don't know. I don't want to speculate.
I think he was trying out for the Battlehawks.
Yeah. So one of them worked out well. He lasted a decent amount of time for us. I think they got rid of him at the perfect time.
Billy, have you looked into any of the NFL draft bets? Stuff like player draft position. So there's stuff like Ruben Bain Jr. over under pick number 8.5. Sonny Styles 5.5. Carnell Tate 7.5. So many players. Ty Simpson 24.5. You know, if you're going to get a second quarterback in the first round, and if it does happen, is it going to be in the first 24 picks? Or
I really like that under on quarterbacks at 1.5, and it was at plus 250 earlier on in the day even. And you know, near and dear to my heart, the people that people actually care to watch, the offensive linemen. That one was at 6.5, juice to the over. I think it was like minus 250 or something. Way early in the process. Then it's kind of separated itself. For a majority of the time, I think it was sitting at 7.5. Here, morning of the draft, a couple hours away, you get a little even money if you go 8.5. And in all reality, I could see there being 9 to maybe 10 guys going here. I also really like the under on corners. That one was sitting at 4.5 for a majority of the time. I don't think there's 4 guys that are going. I think there's 3 for sure. But again, it only takes one to say, this guy, Rodriguez, or the Christopher kid from San Diego State, a lot of people hadn't penciled him in as a first-round pick. He jumps from, maybe 45, 50 on someone's board, sneaks into that back end. So I love the draft bets. Most importantly, though, the ones that are about offensive linemen.
So I want to talk for a minute here about Pittsburgh Steelers. They're going into this draft not knowing if Aaron Rodgers will be coming back. Mm-hmm. If they do know, they haven't let anyone else know.
Does he know?
I don't know.
That's fair.
That's a lot of don't knows right here.
Is he taking a darkness hiatus again?
I don't know, but it's 15-1 odds that their first pick is a quarterback. Is it possible that they move in a position where they get Ty Simpson? Like, are they looking at a quarterback in this draft?
I don't know if I'm taking a first-round quarterback, but maybe someone that slips into a second round. Well, I mean, you got Will Howard.
Yeah. You guys believe in him?
Like national champion Will Howard? Yeah, those broad shoulders, 6'5", can run a little bit. Also, Mason, I still lead the way. Rudolph in December. That guy can win a couple of games in December, most importantly, near Christmas week. But if they know that Rodgers is the quarterback, then I think they feel fine. I don't see them going with Simpson because I think they did that experiment a couple of years ago with Kenny Pickett.
Correct.
And you go with a small, undersized quarterback with very few starts. I think you're rinse and repeating right there. They're going to go. I expect them to go O-line. I expect them to try to bolster up something in front of Rodgers because he wasn't bad last year, and especially in a system that he knows and loves very much. I would expect him to be pretty good if he comes back.
Yeah, NFL draft tonight. Open seating in here. Come on into our sports book. Zach, what do we got for restaurant specials going on right now?
Right now, same thing we've been having. We're getting into season where we're going to start making some changes. There might be a sneaky menu rollout here soon. I don't want to speculate on it just yet, but a lot of new additions to the menu potentially coming up. Some more desserts, new appetizers. So we're excited about getting that potentially out there.
Do we have the brat beer and chip special for $10?
We got that all brewer season this year, so it's gonna be a great special. We keep it coming. I think it's a Johnsonville brat too, so I think that makes a difference for a lot of people. I want to get that out there.
There are some really brand loyal sausage lovers.
Yes.
It's the state of Wisconsin.
Yeah, listen.
You gotta have
You
the
know
brat.
what sausage you like in your mouth, you stick with it.
Yeah. I mean, Johnsonville is fantastic. That's my preferred choice when I go to the
That's your
grocery
preferred
store.
sausage?
It is, yeah. Yeah, all kinds, honestly, but that's my favorite.
You don't care what the sausage is. You just
Preferably the foot-long variety, but I think that...
The cheddar filled, too? You get
Ooh,
those?
good one. Yes.
Yeah.
You throw... Johnsonville did a summer shandy one a couple of years ago.
Did they?
That's a game changer. Really,
I get
that's
the
a winner.
Johnsonville Italian sausage, and I slice that up and put that in my spaghetti.
your SpaghettiOs.
No, spaghetti. Just saying.
Hey, man, me and the chef are going to be cooking it up. Boy RD is going to be in the
Should do a
building this
live
weekend.
cooking class right here. I got to see that in person.
So we also have the Brewers. You know, last time we talked, they were finishing off a 6-game losing streak. We've won some games since then, thankfully. Today, had a walk-off loss in the bottom of the ninth in Detroit. We're still, I believe, in last place in the NL Central with still a winning record, which is
Start betting on
pretty amazing when only 4 teams in the entire American League have a winning record. But yeah, if you were looking recently at some of the futures with the Brewers, I mean, you're looking at NL Central, you can get them at plus 280 now if you believe they're going to win the division. Cubs plus 150. They were plus 215 last time we talked, and I told you I thought that was a really good bet. Well, it was apparently.
They've won 8 in a row. Yeah, it turned out to be pretty
You
good.
can't get that price right now anymore. And then just the National League, if you still have some faith, 15-1 to get to the World Series. And I'm guessing that means we're probably like 30-1 to win it, 25-1 to win it right now.
Fangraphs just did an updated odds for the Brewers to make the playoffs in the NL. Gave them a 41% chance to make the playoffs behind a number of different teams, including the Pittsburgh Pirates. So there's a lot of disrespect, a lot of doubt. It's understandable when 3 of your best hitters are unavailable and there's not necessarily a clear timeline as to when they're coming back. But get a chance to take on, for the second time in MLB history, they face reigning Cy Young Award winners. They almost got Skubal, tagged him for 4, had him on the hook for the loss. See if they can do the same thing to Skeens tomorrow.
I did hear that stat. That's a pretty interesting stat. With the Brewers, though, I mean, like, this is a time where, you know, when they're getting projections like this coming out, where only a 40% chance of making the playoffs, etc.
Keep the hate up.
That's the time to bet them if you're a believer. You don't want to bet them, like, you don't want to bet the Cubs right now when they just won 8 in a row, right? Like, that's, you already lost some of that value. So if you're a believer in the Brewers, now would be the time to get some bets in on the futures for them. Let's talk about NBA playoffs. I'm not sure if you guys watched any games recently, but
I got hammered on a lot of these games.
how about those Philadelphia 76ers? Huh? Series tied 1-1 with Boston. Everyone's easy walkover division or series winner. I don't think so. Philadelphia now tied 1-1 in that series, and now they flip it and they have 2 games at home, and then potentially a game 6 at home if it goes that far. They might just win the next 3, not even need that game.
I was nervous because I got Celtics in 5, and after game 1, I was really struggling to figure out where I was finding that 76ers win. So I'm glad they finally got one. I'm glad they got the one that I need for my Celtics in 5 ticket to be able to cash in there.
Listen, Philadelphia 76ers are going to win this series. I've said it before. I'll say it again. They're going to win at least one, if not both, these home games. I think they might get them both.
Wow.
They're 7.5 point
3-1
underdogs.
to Boston.
They're 7.5 point underdogs at home Friday night.
Wow, that's
Don't even
bold.
take the points. Just take the plus 230 money line. That's my suggestion.
Just cash it.
Yeah. Philadelphia 76ers. Okay? They're going to beat Boston. Like, I don't know how many more times I need to say it, guys.
You know what I'm thinking? I don't think the Knicks get past Atlanta. I just
It's a good series. That's a fun series to watch.
I thought I mean, I've known the Knicks are frauds. Now you get some speculation coming out of New York that Cat might not be on the team next year. It just kind of feels like it's starting to kind of crumble. You know, losing a game against Atlanta for them was big. And I think Atlanta learned how to use Kuminga. They can't seem to figure out a way to stop C.J. McCollum at, 34 years old, 35 years old? And I mean, again, they're riding Brunson and Cat. Who's their guy? I mean, that third guy that you need to win a championship isn't there.
They traded 5 first-round picks for Mikal Bridges and have gotten nothing out of it in return. And OG Anunoby's a really good defensive player. Really good defensive player. But for what they're paying him, nearly $200 million on his contract, just doesn't pan out. The bad thing about Cat is I just hope he's not on the Bucks. Right, I just hope that he's not on the Bucks in 26-27 because I agree with you. I don't think he's on the Knicks. The Hawks are hilarious because they're almost like a collection of misfit toys, right? Nobody wanted Kuminga for how long? He was on the block for, it felt like, a year and a half. C.J. McCollum has moved to 3 different teams in 5 years after his time with the Blazers. And it's a good mix. It's a good concoction. And Quinn Snyder, veteran coach, he identified he wanted that job. And what was the first thing they wanted to do? Trae Young. Yeah. Why don't you get out of here? And now all of a sudden they're sitting here with a chance to win a playoff series.
Dyson Daniels not someone to be slept on either. His defense is crazy.
And Jalen Johnson's tremendous.
And if the Hawks do win that series, then they have to play the Philadelphia 76ers. So either way, they're not going to go very far.
Good series. That would be a really good series at this juncture right now.
Yeah. But that'll be really fun to play on 2K because Boston's winning the series.
DJ Edgecombe, what do you have, 30 and 10 the other night?
Oh, dude, he was so confident.
They're doing this without Embiid, by the way. Don't know if you guys are aware of that. Like one of the
They had to do it without Embiid the whole time because he wasn't going to be there regardless.
Listen,
it's Embiid.
He'll be ready when they need him. They don't need him yet. They're only playing Boston.
Next year they'll need him for like 30 games.
I want to talk about another series tonight. It's a late game tonight. Denver and Minnesota has been the series that I'm most excited to watch.
That one corked me.
I sat down and watched the entire game the other night between these two teams, and it was great. Denver went up by 19 in the first quarter. Minnesota came back, tied it up at halftime.
Jamal Murray was pretty lights out in that game too.
It's just a great series. Like these two teams match up against each other
really well.
So well. It's really entertaining basketball. Like I know some people are maybe more college basketball purists, right? Not loving the NBA game. Give this series a chance. If you want to watch NBA and you want to see how good it can be, watch Denver and Minnesota tonight at 8:30.
And they were letting them get real chippy in that last game too. They were like the physicality was in that game, and that's something that you don't see too often. Especially like Joker was looking for calls pretty much the whole game, and he was not getting them. So Ant was looking for him too. And I think the biggest difference maker right now that I've noticed is that Joker, his inability to shoot the 3-point shot has really kind of collapsed the game. I feel like he's trying to disperse the ball a lot, but it really just needs to be his show, and everything needs to follow after that. That's why they lost that game last week, or what was it?
2 nights. His 3 has been off for a couple of days. You're right, and you can tell that
he airballed one.
If he's going to shoot it like that, they're going to dare him to keep shooting them. Yeah. I think the other interesting one now that the series shifts back to Minnesota is, role players always play better at home. Like Jaden McDaniels feels like he's kind of far from a role player now. Yeah. He's one of their stars. So these two teams, I believe, have met in each of the last 3 or 4 years in the playoffs. And they have
a good rivalry.
Real disdain, and not only just from the players. Tim Conley, I believe, is the general manager or the president now. Worked at one spot, said, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to build the team to beat the Nuggets. I'm going to go to Minnesota and do the exact same thing. So it's a fascinating rivalry in that standpoint, too.
I'll tell you what, one of the owners of the Minnesota Timberwolves, A-Rod, Alex Rodriguez, he'll be there tonight. I'm sure he'll be
he's going to be looking cool, too.
Yeah.
He's going to be looking really cool.
Great. It's just a great. I mean, Julius Randle, too. He's a tough guy. He's a tough guy.
He's played a big factor in the series, but for some reason, like, maybe it's not as exciting because I feel like you come to expect that out of Randall. Like, he puts up like a 19 to 25 point game. He's hitting some threes. Like, I want to see somebody like really like jump off the court. Someone that like really just is a game changer. I feel like Dante DiVincenzo's been one of those guys that's former Buck. That the big Ragu, he's been one of those guys that's been a huge difference maker in this series so far. I have not seen anyone for the Nuggets do the same.
Aaron Gordon will need to step up, I think. I think he's that guy. After Jokic and Murray, I think it's Gordon that needs to be the next guy that can say, hey, I'm an X factor tonight. I'm going to get my team a win. One of these 4 wins. You got to get 4 of them.
Yep.
If he can be the difference in just one of them, I think that's huge for them in this
series. He's been playing a little injured, it looks like.
Yeah, he's hobbled, you can tell.
Yeah.
I mean, and Gobert, people like to give crap to Go Bears sometimes,
Just
but
put him at the foul line.
he is
He'll
a
win the game.
former Defense Player of the Year winner. Like the guy,
multiple times.
yeah, he still can play some ball. Like
Guy knows ball.
he can play ball. So I think Jokic is having some trouble with him inside. He held him. Jokic only had 6 points in the first half the other night. Didn't really look like much of a scorer. He ended up with 22 at the end of the day. But I think he's gonna have to put up upper 20s. I think he's gonna have to make a difference.
To win, he's got to go over 25. But the same thing is said about Ant. Ant's got to keep doing what he's doing, and they've been struggling to defend him in the paint.
I think that's being modest. I think he's got to get 30 at least. It's the tough deal in the give and take of, do you let him facilitate? Because when he does, that's when they get really dangerous. I'm fascinated to see how much they're able to just continually go at Murray and Jokic though defensively, because that's where
aggressive.
it's where they're weakest. And you heard McDaniel say it. What was your guys' game plan? He's attack their bad defenders like Jamal Murray, Nikola Jokic, their whole team.
Yeah, they were like last in the league, I think, in points in the paint and defense.
And money can be made in this playoffs, okay? Just the other night when the Sixers won and the Blazers beat the Spurs and the Lakers beat the Rockets, all three of those teams were underdogs. $20 won you $2,000. Mm-hmm. We had someone bet that here. Like, you just don't know. Like
$20
we had a bet
$20
won just over 2,000. It's just NBA playoffs. You just never know. All it takes is one night, right?
Can we just stop and talk about one thing though before we leave the NBA playoff subject?
Yeah.
Can we talk about LeBron?
Oh,
LeBron right now is single-handedly pushing the Lakers to the next round.
yeah. I'll tell you what. Like, people like to talk about the LeBron versus Jordan debate, right? LeBron is definitely better at 40 than Jordan was at 40. We can say that much.
That's
He's the
confirmed.
best old player of all time.
Yes.
And it is him and Tom Brady as the best old players across whatever sport of all time. Not shocking. They both spend the most money, I think, on their bodies to keep them in this position. But it's also cool to be able to watch LeBron be the lead man again. Because all year it did feel like he was understanding their best way to win was for him to be, a better version of Draymond Green, right? Do everything, do all the dirty work kind of thing, and pick up where Luka and Reeves were off. But now it's his show, and he takes down the Rockets. This is going to be a great feather in the cap. Everybody's got their pick in the Jordan-LeBron one, right? But it does remind you of, at worst, this guy's the second best player of all time. Pretty damn good career.
Yeah, I mean, when you're talking about, GOATs after 40 years old, please don't forget the greatest athlete of all time over 40 years old.
Joey Chestnut?
Joey Chestnut, yes,
Yeah,
thank
good
you.
call. Yeah, good
So
call.
happy that you got that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He just continues to get better with age. It's like fine wine, dude.
We'll have betting on that come July 4th again this year, too.
Which I don't even know why, because you think Fernando Mendoza's a tough bet to have. Joey Chestnut to win the hot dog eating contest. You have to give, I think, the deed to your house and maybe a pink slip to be able to get some kind of value out of it, because he's just so much of a favorite, right?
Well, you can bet it if you want, but it's also fun to be
Bet
like,
the dogs.
literally,
How many dogs?
over or under 69.5 dogs. Like,
Nice.
That's what it was last
That's
year.
true.
I think it went under by quite a bit.
Well, you had to have 69 and a half dogs out there in order to really make it a good bet.
Yes.
69 dogs.
That was the line. He's gone over that number many times too. Mm-hmm. He doesn't have competition.
legend.
Like, he doesn't have someone that is.
He's
about to
running
take
his
this-
own race.
No, he gets that mustard belt every year.
He's Larry Bird walking into the three-point contest saying, all right, which one of you jokers is finishing second?
We were talking recently among the employees in the sports book about, hey, if you ever had the chance to go to like an Indy 500 or Super Bowl or some sort of event that takes place like once a year that you get some free tickets to go to, I want to go to Coney Island. I want to go to the hot dog eating contest.
Oh,
that's
there
what
we
I
go.
want to do. You get to play some fair games, go on some rides, and you get to watch these magnificent creatures eat hundreds of dogs. It's amazing.
Just the epitome of athleticism at Coney Island.
Yeah.
That's true. That's true. And I'd just be sad though that the Black Widow wouldn't be there anymore.
Is it 10? I can't remember now. Is it 10 minutes or 15 minutes that they get to? I think it's 10, right?
That sounds like that.
How many hot dogs do you think you could eat in 10 minutes? I think that's a good question. How many?
4. I've done it before.
I'll go with
Experience. I
Yeah.
say.
I'll set
Experience
the
in that one.
line for myself at 14.5.
Dogs in 10 minutes?
Yeah, dogs and buns, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Dang.
If we ever want to actually do that on the show, as long as Zach brings the hot dogs, I will do that.
I
on
think
the
if
show. Live.
hold
There we
on,
go.
Eric.
Next week.
Hold on. If we get how many numbers
July
of likes?
4th.
How many likes and subscribes should we get for this?
No, he
show?
just volunteered.
Oh, just a
Yeah,
volunteer.
he just volunteered.
Oh, perfect. Perfect.
It's free though. Right?
We
I
gotta
don't
get
have to pay for
we
food?
gotta get this.
No,
then
no,
we get the class.
I get
This
free
is
food.
free. This is free. Can we get on the vinegar stroke?
Yeah, NBA. Last thing I want to say is Wemby right now. He got a concussion the other night. They're gonna need him going forward because they're gonna be facing either Minnesota or Denver, two teams that we just said we both really like. So if they can get by Portland, which they should, they need him back and healthy.
Badly.
So, who knows when we'll see him back again, if he's gonna be playing the next game or not. But a lot of the other series kind of feel over. It kind of feels like the Thunder are gonna have no problem with Phoenix.
It was over before it started.
Pistons and Magic. I mean, I wouldn't say it's
Terrible
over, but
series.
Pistons are up 2-1. They feel like it looks pretty good right now. Is it 2-1 or 1-1?
1-1. Pistons
That was
will
1-1.
Pistons
Feels
will
like
go up 2-1
They
after
just
this
won
weekend.
so bad
Yeah.
the other night. It felt like 2-1. But
I can't
yeah.
believe they lost that game.
So yeah, any NBA action, NHL action. We got NFL or NHL playoffs as well. Come on into our sportsbook anytime. Get some great seats. Get some great food and drink. Right here at Potawatomi Sportsbook. You guys want to watch these videos? Like and subscribe as well. When you do that, you'll get notified when we go live or any new videos that come out. Please ask any questions you may have in the comments, and we'll hope to get those answers. So that's it for this week, guys. We'll see you at the window. Thanks for watching.